Hi, it's John Kreider from Thor Motor Coach, and we want to talk to you a little bit about your Hurricane or Windsport motorhome. You may have just taken delivery at your dealership, and in today's world, you may not have had enough time to go through the vehicle, so let us take you through it. First of all, if you did buy a new motorhome, congratulations. Second, make sure that you go to our website and make sure that you go to the owner's page on our website and sign up for the owner's resource page. The owner's resource page will allow you to set up an account, put in your VIN number, and get all the information that you'll need on your vehicle. Also, any owner's manuals, schematics, instruction guides, or quick start videos will be located in that area. I definitely recommend that's something you go take a look at to make your ownership experience even more enlightening. When we start with our Class A motorhome, we want to start with one thing. We want to turn the battery on. So anytime that we're using the motorhome, we want to make sure that our battery is turned on. So inside the door, there is a battery switch. The battery switch is a rotary switch and it says off and on. It's very simple. You'll take and you'll turn it on by turning it clockwise or turn it off by doing counterclockwise. The reason we turn that on is because that's the way that the system operates. When we are running down the road, we charge our batteries when the batteries are on. When we're parked at a campsite and we're plugged into shore power, we charge our batteries, the house batteries and the chassis batteries, because they're connected together. So that way, no matter what our source of power is, we're getting charging. Also, the generator will charge the batteries at the same area. We do this because anytime that we're using the vehicle, there's some kind of a draw on the batteries. If we want to keep our batteries up, we want to make sure they're operating correctly. We want to make sure slide rooms will go in and leveling jacks will work. All that is all determined on making sure that our batteries are on. So let's make sure that's the first thing that we do. Once we have our batteries on, then we can go to the outside of the vehicle. So whether you're packing up to leave for the first time or you're getting ready to go on your first trip, a couple things that you need to know. On the exterior, you'll see that many of our floor plans have an exterior entertainment center. The exterior entertainment center is located under this door. It's a 32-inch TV and it's a sound bar. The nice thing about this is underneath your campsite, you can actually watch some TV. The TV does pull out, so it's on a swivel, so you can make the TV go in any direction that you want. So that means no matter where you're at, it doesn't matter if the sun's coming in from one direction or the other, you can still control the screen. Also, you can see here that the sound bar. So the sound bar is hooked up to the TV to give you some additional volume. Not only that, it also has a Bluetooth connection, so that way you can hook your tablet or your cell phone up to it and get some music outside, or there's even a built-in FM radio. The TV is connected to the HDMI sourcing unit that's inside of the vehicle. So if you do have a satellite receiver or you have a Blu-ray player or a gaming system that you want to put to the outside, you do have that ability. You do have multiple storage compartments throughout the entire vehicle. So as we can see here, we open up, we've got storage compartments. So you get good storage throughout the entire coach. You also have lights inside of each one of those storage compartments. The lights are on a single switch that's located inside the door. Now this model, Hurricane or Windsport, is going to have a multiplex system on it, and the multiplex system is how the entire electrical architecture works. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but inside of the vehicle we'll have a multiplex screen that allows us to turn these lights on and off. You also can control it by downloading the app and actually putting it on your cell phone. Either way, you have full access to everything on the outside here. These doors are slam latch doors. You can see we can just close them. There is a lock on each one of them, so you can lock each individual door. And you can see as we work our way down the side of the vehicle, there's a few other things. We've got more storage back here in a few more compartments. We've got a 110 volt outlet, which is out here on the outside. And then of course we also have the patio awning. Now the patio awning can be controlled at the entry door here or from the multiplex screen, and it's really simple. So if I open the door here, I want to put the awning out. First of all, my batteries are on, my engine is off, so I want to make sure those things happen. And then once I do that, I can put my patio awning out. Now with the patio awning on your vehicle here, it's a simple one push of the button. You push it once, it'll extend the awning all the way out. Once it gets all the way out, it set itself, and then if you want to, you can push the button one more time and put it all the way back in. There's also an adjustment that you can make manually on the awning. So if you want to change the pitch of the awning, because this awning doesn't have any legs, you'll have to do that by going to your service center, or there are some instructions in your owner's manual exactly how to do that. But this awning has no legs, which is great because no matter where I walk here, there's nothing that's gonna hit me in the head. There's nothing I gotta worry about running into. And as you can see, it's pretty nice because it just rolls out on its own. Once it gets all the way rolled out, we also have one more option, which is to turn the lights on. So the awning does have built-in lights. You can see it's located right on the bottom side, and let me turn those on for you. There we go. You can see there's some LED lighting. The LED lighting will light up underneath the patio area here, and depending on the model of awning that you have, it could be located in the rail like we see on this particular model, or it could be located in the arms on certain other models. If we work our way down the side of the motorhome, we'll see a few other things. First of all, you've got more storage compartments. Those, each one of them are lit. And then as we get to the back of the vehicle here, we can see a few other compartments. But before we get there, let's talk about tires. So tire safety is extremely important on your motorhome. Now, the motorhome has a couple of things that you may hear out there. One is called gross vehicle weight rating, or GVWR. One is called gross combined weight rating, which is the combination of the motorhome and whatever you're towing behind it. You also have some things called GAWR, which is gross axle weight rating. And then you have some ratings as far as the tires go. So with our tires, we do have valve extensions for the inner dual tire. It's very important that we make sure that our air pressure and our tires are maintained all the time, because that's going to give us the best ride. It's going to give us the best load rating. Also with that GVWR, we want to make sure that we're not overloading the vehicle. So it's very important for us to know exactly what the vehicle weighs. So once you own the vehicle, once you have it fully loaded the way that you're going to use it, then we recommend that you get it weighed. That way you'll know exactly how much you can put inside the vehicle, and each vehicle comes standard with a weight label that'll tell you exactly how much cargo carrying capacity you have. Now, cargo carrying capacity is what's left that you can put people, cargo, and anything else that you're going to put inside the vehicle. So that's all listed under the cargo carrying capacity. That'll be on a yellow sticker located at your entry door. So it's something that you can look up for yourself. The gross combined weight rating is what you have as far as the trailer goes. And there's a few things when we talk about trailers that we have to pay attention to, which is the trailer itself, the braking system, and also the tongue weight that goes on the hitch, which we'll discuss here in a couple minutes. But definitely make sure that we're keeping our tires up, especially that inner dual tire. An important compartment that's going to be located on the exterior of the vehicle. Now this could be different areas of the vehicle, but on this particular one, you can see is your battery and your hydraulic pump. Now, on the motorhomes, you're going to have hydraulic leveling, which is one touch, which we'll explain when we get to the interior of the coach. But if you're looking for the hydraulic pump, it's located right here. The reason it's located right here is because it makes it easy for you to manually override. If you ever had to manually override the system, it's as simple as having a wrench that has the correct socket connection on it, and then loosening up some of the valves with an Allen wrench. It's a real simple process, and if you ever need to do it, there's an owner's manual inside of your packet that shows you exactly how to do it. There's also your house batteries. Your house batteries are located in this compartment, and you have a pet tie down in this area, which is kind of a nice feature, because that way if you bring your animals with, like most people do, they've got a place where if you want to put a leash or you want to put a tie down, you can put it right here inside of the compartment. You can close the door so it comes out from underneath, and that way if Fido wants to be out here in the area underneath the patio or in the campsite area, you've got a place where you can have them out here without having to worry about them running off. So that's all located in this area. Finally, if we move a couple more back, we can see that this is the LP area. This location may change based on the layout of your floor plan, but in this model, this is where the LP tank is located. The LP tank can be filled at any U-Haul or local LP area or local LP business that refills LP tanks. It's just like your gas grill. They'll simply come in and they will hook up by taking this yellow cap off, hook in there, then they will have to fill your tank. Now, the first time that they fill your tank, they're most likely going to have to purge it to get all the air out of it. Once they get all the air out of it, which may take a few extra minutes the first time around, then you'll have plenty of LP to power everything inside of the coach. And what does LP power? Most likely your water heater, your furnace, your cooktop, your oven, anything that is an LP appliance will be powered off of this tank. Now, this tank does have a manual shutoff valve, so you can open and close the valve. And you do need to pay attention in certain areas that restrict LP inside of tunnels or on bridges. And also, anytime that you're refilling the fuel of the vehicle, we recommend that you actually close the LP line to make sure there couldn't be any sparks or anything that could lead to something that could be a dangerous situation. So make sure you turn the LP off whenever you're filling up with fuel. The final compartment we have here in the back is an LP connection. That's hooked directly to the LP tank we just talked about. That LP connection is so you can add a gas grill or some kind of an LP appliance to the outside of the vehicle. When you do that, it's already regulated at this port, so make sure that when you hook up your grill, you test it before you go on your first trip to make sure that the regulator that you have on the appliance itself doesn't make the flow so weak that it actually doesn't operate. If you do have that situation, you can remove the regulator on your grill and just use the regulated gas flow that's coming out of this pipe. Let's work our way around to the back of the coach and look at a few things back there. As we work our way around to the rear of the coach, there's a few things we'll notice. First of all, you've got a nice one-piece rear cap. The rear cap has a trailer hitch right below it. This is a Class 3 trailer hitch. It's got a 2-inch receiver. It's got a 7-pin connector, so that way if you want to hook up a auxiliary braking system, all your lights and everything are back here right in the back. You can see it's rated at 8,000 pounds, and it's got a 500-pound tongue rating. We have to be very careful that we make sure that we do not exceed the tongue rating, because that's going to be what weight goes actually on the tongue, which then translates to the rear axle and adds to the overall weight that's actually on the axle. So we got to make sure that we have that paid attention to, because that looks at our GVWR and then our GCWR. Those combinations together is exactly what we have to do as far as the coach goes. Also, we got to pay special attention to that you get your coach aligned once you've got it loaded. Many times we have the coach perfectly aligned when it leaves the factory. You get the vehicle, all of a sudden now you load it up with your stuff and the vehicle drives a little bit different because it's sitting on the suspension a little bit different. So the first thing we say in the owner's manual is go get your vehicle aligned to make sure that it's perfect for the way that you've loaded it. That way you're going to fight premature tire wear, you're going to fight any tire problems, and the longevity of the tires are going to be a lot longer. Lights are all located on the back here. You can see they're all LED lights, and we do want to make sure that we check our lights on a daily basis. We want to make sure that we're being safe. This is a big vehicle. People are going to be able to see it coming down the road, but let's make sure that we have all of our lights checked on a daily basis. And those LED lights are quite bright, so it's going to be very visible to anybody who's driving behind you. We have a roof ladder. The roof ladder gets you up to the roof. And of course, we don't want you up on the roof as far as making that a second patio area. That's not what it's intended for. This roof ladder is intended for you to be able to access the roof so you can do your yearly maintenance and to make sure that everything is cleaned off the roof. So that's the reason you use the ladder, and really for any other reason, we would say don't use the ladder, especially putting anything like lawn chairs or anything else up there. Finally, here in the back, you do have a backup camera. The backup camera allows you to see everything that's going on behind the vehicle. So whether you're looking at the horizon or you're looking down at your tow vehicle, it's got a pretty big range that it can see as far as its viewing angle goes. And that way, anything that you see behind the vehicle. Now this vehicle too is equipped with some side cameras, which we'll also take a look at, which works in conjunction with the rear camera. So when you turn on your turn signal, the side cameras come on. When you turn off your turn signal, you can go back to the rear camera or go back to your media center. So we'll talk a little bit more about that once we get inside the vehicle. Now, let's head around to the driver's side and see what it looks like over there. Here on the driver's side of the coach, we've got a few connections that are on the back. Now, these locations may change a little bit depending on your floor plan, but the majority of the things you're going to see is first, you're going to see the 50 amp power cord or the 30 amp power cord, depending on which model that you purchased. This is where you hook your power cord up to, and the power cord is detachable. So in one of the storage compartments, most likely you'll find your detachable power cord. And you can see on this particular 50 amp model, this is what the power cord looks like. It connects to a NEMO 1450 connection on the other side, which is what you'll see at all the campgrounds. So that's the what you have there. If it's 30 amp service, you'll have a very similar looking power cord. It'll just be a little bit smaller, not as many wires and not as heavy duty. You'll know that you're getting power to the coach, and we've got a really great video out there that talks all about how to hook up the power, exactly when to use what and when to plug things in, so check that out on our YouTube page. City water connection. This city water connection is so you could take and put drinking water through the coach. It is the pressurized water. So you have two ways that you get water inside your vehicle. Either you have the potable water, which you fill up, and on the other side of the vehicle, there is a fill area that you can put water into, and when you put the water into it, it fills up the tank inside of the vehicle. That's what you're going to use when you're driving down the road. Then when you get to the campground, you've got this city water connection. It's all pressurized, so you'll use the pressure coming in from the campground or your home or wherever. And we need to make sure that when we do this, we have the correct hose for drinking water. That hose is going to be white. You can pick that up at a camping accessory store. You can pick it up at your dealership. You can pick it up online. But you want to make sure you get the white hose with the blue label. That's what you want here for the city water connection. You also have a cable outlet, which is back here in the back. If you're somewhere that has cable that's offered, you can use the cable. You can put it into the vehicle, and into the vehicle you'll be able to watch whatever cable programming they have. This area right here with the screen on it, this is actually your generator. So this particular model, because it's a larger 34-foot model, has the Onan QG 5000 or 5500, I'm sorry, generator, which is 5,500 watts of power. This will power everything on the inside of the vehicle. You've paid for this generator, and a lot of times people don't use the generator as much as what they should. So anytime that you want to run the air conditioners, you want to run the TVs, you want to run everything that's inside of the vehicle, while you're driving down the road, run the generator. It's an investment that you've made in your vehicle. You want to make sure that you run it just like you run the engine inside of the vehicle. It runs off of your standard gasoline tank, so it's pulling from the 80 gallons that's already inside your tank. And it is set up where it will cut off when you get to a quarter tank of fuel, so you don't run yourself out of fuel by running the generator. It's a real nice feature, and it's something that you should absolutely utilize, especially in the hot weather when you want to run your roof air conditioners. Here we have our fuel fill. Now, depending on the model, this could be on the driver's side or this could be on the passenger side. Unlike your automobile, where the gas gauge that's on the dash shows you which side of the vehicle the fuel fill is, that may not hold true because it's kind of a one-size-fits-all when we receive the chassis, and then depending on the layout, that's where we place the fuel fill. So definitely make a mental note of where that is so you don't pull into the island at the fuel stop and have to back up or turn around to be able to go to the other side of the vehicle. Working our way down the side here, there is an appliance over here. This is your furnace. So this area here is your furnace. There's really nothing you have to do on the outside here. One note, this does get hot when the furnace is going. So this is the exhaust port. On the other side of the vehicle, there's another door that looks very similar to this. That's your water heater. The water heater has an exhaust on it also that we also have to pay attention to because it does get hot. So let's be safe and make sure that we stay away from these, especially when they're running. And of course, the furnace here located on the off side, it could be on the door side depending on which floor plan and which layout you have. If we work our way here, once again, you get some more storage compartments, and this motorhome's got great storage on the outside. And then we get to the point where we access our holding tanks. We've got our black tank, which houses all the toilet water. We've got our gray tank, which has all your sink and shower water. We want to make sure that we dump these in an improved area at a campground or at some kind of a area that allows you to dump your sewage. And this is the area we come to. So there is a nozzle here which connects the black and the gray pipes together. And you can see that this rotates so you can take and get this in and out of the way. You can also take your sewer hose, come up from the bottom and connect it to the 3-inch pipe. You'll want to get a sewer hose that comes from a camping store or your dealer or online that is the correct distance for what you want and whatever you want to store in the vehicle. And our process is this. We want to take and we want to pull the handles on each one of these. This is the black, this is the gray. We start with our black, so pull our black tank. Once we have our black tank pulled and everything dumps out of there, then we want to come back and we want to do our gray tank. So let's go here, and you can see we'll pull on the gray tank here. Once we've pulled on the tanks, that's gonna dump everything out. And then when I wanna go and I wanna reverse the situation, I'm gonna do exactly how we started. I'll start by pushing the black in, and then I'll finish with the gray. And then as you can see here, we've got a cap that we can put on top of this once we disconnect our sewer hose. And we've got this connector here, which goes underneath, which covers up this port. And once you cover up that port, you'll make sure that nothing comes in and out of your storage compartment. We have an outdoor shower. So the outdoor shower allows us to take hot water that is located in the vehicle. We can pull this shower out and we can rinse ourselves off. We can rinse off the ground. We can do anything, but the big thing is we can rinse out our sewer pipe. So I could take my sewer pipe off my sewer, I can run the hot water here so I get nice hot water, rinse everything down so I have a nice clean pipe, and then when I'm finished, I can put this back away. There's also one other thing underneath here called Sandy Flush. The Sandy Flush is a black tank flush. It allows you to get everything out of the black tank to make sure that the level sensors and everything inside work properly. This is something that you would hook up a regular garden hose to. We do not hook up our fresh water hose that we use for drinking water. We don't hook that up here because this is going to take and it's going to more or less pressurize and put a stream of water into your black tank. You'll want to take and hook a garden hose up to that and probably let it run for 5 to 10 minutes, just flushing the tank to make sure that all the solids, toilet paper, anything else that's in that tank are all rinsed out. And once you do that, you'll have a nice clean tank and all your sensors on the inside will work correct also. A couple more areas here for storage. So, like I said, this motorhome's got a ton of storage on the outside. You'll also notice that from the outside here, this is our slide out room. So this particular motorhome has a big slide out room, which we call a wall slide on this side of the motorhome. Also, as we move our way to the cockpit area, you'll notice that these are those mirrors that I was talking about, have the built-in cameras. So these mirrors, they have a convex head down here at the bottom, which is adjustable manually. And then the top flat mirror is adjustable inside the cockpit, just like it is with your car. Then the side cameras here are set up where if you put on your turn signal, it'll show everything down the side of your vehicle, eliminating that blind spot as you're trying to make a lane change. And then you have that on both sides. So every time you turn the turn signal on, it's going to go to the side camera to give you some visibility. Now let's roll around to the front so I can show you underneath the hood and exactly what you may or may not access there. Here we are located at the front cap, and at the front cap you'll see a hood. The hood here unlocks with the key that you have on your keychain. This is what we call a barrel key. This barrel key will unlock these barrel latches. We can take and we can pop the top out, and then we can lift up, and this pantograph's out of the way. Now, there's a few things under here you'll want to access. First of all, the windshield washer fluid is located in this area. So the windshield washer fluid reservoir is here, so you can fill that up. Also, anytime that you need to check anything like your oil, your transmission fluid, that's all done in this area. Also, access to the chassis battery is located in this area. If you need to change that battery, if you want to disconnect the battery because you're going to put this into winter storage and you want to make sure that the battery is nice and fresh when you get there in the springtime, this is the area that you would go to make those connections or anything that you want to disconnect. Finally, anything else as far as your air filter is in here too, so if you need to change your air filter on the engine, and this is just like your car, you're going to want to change the air filter, you want to do regular maintenance, oil, transmission fluid, air filter, windshield washer fluid, all up here. Your power steering fluid is up here, super easy to get to. And then when we're all finished, we can just take this and we close this back up and we use our key again, and we simply just lock it in place. There we go. So let's move back around to the other side of the vehicle and we'll take a look at the inside. As we work our way to the inside of the vehicle, there's a bunch of stuff that you're going to notice here at the entry step. First of all, we're going to see the switch bank, which is the partial controller to the multiplex system. This is the area where you're going to have a few of the functions that are right here at the door, like your awning light, your outside lights. Some of those things, your cargo light, your stepwell, even the living room lights, you can turn on here at this location. They're all labeled, they're super easy to get to. As long as you've got that battery on like we talked about, it'll have your information here. Also, this particular model has a residential refrigerator, and because it has a residential refrigerator, your inverter control is here at the front. Now, your inverter takes 12 volt power, turns it to 110 volt power. And then that allows the refrigerator to continue to run even off of the batteries. The system is set up and it's very smart because it also has auto generator start on it. So you set your inverter, you can leave your inverter on anytime that you're not plugged into the campground or to shore power or running the generator. If you're just running off of battery power, you turn the inverter on, that will run your refrigerator. With that automatic generator start, you're going to have the ability to set up the auto gen start so it comes on if the battery power goes too low. So if you're running the inverter, your batteries start to come down as far as their voltage goes, the automatic generator start will sense that and it will kick the generator on. And it's just a few settings that you'll do that we'll look at here in just a second. The other thing is too, that auto generator start can be set up to look at the thermostat setting. So if it's something that you have your air conditioner on and it's only 55 degrees in the morning, but you know it's going to be 80 in the afternoon, you want to make sure that it comes on, you can set that up that if the temperature gets up to 70 degrees, the generator kicks on automatically, cools down your coach. Once it gets it cool, then it kicks back off and it'll continue to go on and off. And you can set that up to come on or not come on. You can set up for quiet times. There's a bunch of different settings. Also down here at the bottom, you'll also see your solar controller. Your solar controller is set up because you have a 100-watt panel that's up on your roof. That is going to help maintain your battery. So when you've got sun outside, you're getting free electricity through that solar panel that's on your roof, coming in and charging your batteries. Let's move from this position here and look at what we've got in the hallway, because that's where the main control center is. The main control center is part of the multiplex system, and that multiplex system controls your lights, your water pump, your tank heaters, your slide out rooms. All of that is done from the main control. So let's go take a look at that. Located in the hallway on this motorhome, you can see is the multiplex panel. This 7-inch panel gives us access to everything in the vehicle. And I'm just going to make a quick run through of exactly what some of the screens are. So this is our main home screen. There's a little home button icon there. And on the home screen there is kind of your brain center here. It tells me exactly if I want to turn my lights on and off. So I have a master lights on and off. So I can turn all my lights off, turn all my lights on. I can look at all my holding tanks. I can start my generator. I can set up the AGS system. I can see the levels of my house and my chassis battery. And I can also see what my HVAC zones are doing. So like right now, I've got the generator running. I've got the air conditioner going. And I've been able to set that to 72 degrees because it's going to be nice and warm here in Indiana. The second button down is the auto gen start settings. Now these are all set at the factory, and I would recommend that you just leave them. Other than the fact that you may have to change some things with your start time and your end time, but this is set at the factory. You're more than welcome to change it. Just know that there are certain triggers that you can set up, and one is the voltage, one is the HVAC. You can tell how many times to restart and all that. So there's lots of things that you can do to individualize this. The third icon down is all your lights. So not only do we have the master lights on and off, and that's going to turn on and off 80% of the lights in the vehicle. There are a few lights located underneath cabinets or in the kitchen area that are still individual switched, so that way you can turn them on and off without turning the rest of the lights on in. Also, you can turn on everything from the outside you can do here. And don't forget, there is an app that you can download on your phone or your tablet and do the exact same thing and mirror what you've got here. You also have, whenever you look at the lights, you can see if you've got a little icon that shows an arrow up and down, that allows you to dim the lights. So if I go to the ceiling lights that we have right here and I just hold this button down, I can dim those lights down. Once they get all the way dim, they'll get to the bottom. And then if I continue to hold it, they'll go back up. Or if I let go, I can do the exact same thing. I can dim them down again, let go, push the button and hold it down. Now they're going to go back up. Come all the way down, all the way back up. So you've got a lot of options as far as dimming goes inside of the vehicle. And there we go, we're back to full strength. You have the ability to just push the button, turn individual lights on and off. All that's controlled in the little light switch. Then we get to the HVAC control. Now the HVAC control, that is your furnace and your air conditioners. And this is very simple. You're able to control the two zones in this particular model because it's got two air conditioners. You've got the front zone, which is zone 1, which is your living area. You've got zone 2, which is back in your bedroom area. You can set the individual temperatures for your air conditioning. You can set it to go from cool to furnace to auto. I recommend auto. It just makes it easy. And the thing that we have to remember about air conditioning is the air conditioning system only has the ability to cool the coach about 15 degrees below ambient temperature. So if it's 90 degrees outside, the coach is going to be able to get down to about 75 degrees. You're not going to want to set your thermostat any more than 10 to 15 degrees below the outside temperature. If you start your air conditioner in the middle of the afternoon, it's 110 degrees outside, There is no way in a 6-hour period or 8-hour period you're going to bring the temperature down enough to make it comfortable. So we have to take a few tips here. First of all, 10 to 15 degrees below what we think the ambient temperature outside is going to be for the day, that's where we want to set it. So if we start off in the morning, it's 70 degrees outside, I can leave the thermostat at 70 and just leave it there. I want to make sure that I don't take and adjust that thermostat any lower. Through the day, the air conditioners will kick on and kick off based on what the need is. If we start off in the afternoon, it's 100 degrees, we turn it down to, let's say, 70 degrees. That's 30 degrees or 40 degrees below what the temperature is outside. What you will do is you will overload the air conditioner. The air conditioner will run at its maximum capacity until it freezes up. Once it freezes up, all it will do is produce hot air and circulate that through your vehicle, which means you will be completely miserable inside of your motorhome. It will take a number of hours for those coils and everything to defrost before it'll start working properly again, so you'll just be miserable throughout the entire day. Start in the morning, set your thermostat, turn your air conditioner on, let it run throughout the day. Second, pull the window shades. In the morning, see the beautiful sunshine. Once you get to a little bit later in the morning, before lunchtime for sure, pull the window shades. Take some of that radiant heat and keep it from coming inside of the vehicle. It helps keep it cool. And then last but not least, see what you can do as far as limiting the number of lights that you have on. Limit the number of times that you're going in and out of the door. That is all going to play into what the comfort factor looks like on the inside of your vehicle. So follow a few of those tips and I think you'll be a lot more comfortable when you're doing your camping. You do have the ability, obviously, to turn the furnace on. There is just a single furnace. There's not dual furnaces, so you just have one zone for that. And then if you go to the auto setting, that allows you more or less to just put it in auto. If it needs heat, it'll do heat. If it needs air conditioning, it'll do air conditioning. And pretty much you don't have to do anything else. You do have a fan control on here. So in the bathroom, there is a fan and you can control the fan. The next icon that comes down is what we have for leveling, or I should say the slide out rooms and for the awning. And this is the really important one because in this model, the way that the slide out room operates is by having the leveling jacks engaged and down to make sure that your coach is fully level, to have the engine running, and to have the parking brake engaged. Those things have to be in place before the slide out rooms will run. The reason we do this is to keep your batteries charged, to have plenty of capacity to be able to put the slide out room and slide out room in and out, to put your leveling jacks down to make sure that the coach is level, because when the coach is level, the slide out operation is better. The slide out rooms are electric. They have a rack on the outside of the vehicle and two motors. The two motors have a synchronizing unit and it allows the two motors to sync with each other. You roll the room in, you roll the room out. Our recommendation is that at any time you always do maximum capacity. So you take the room all the way out, you take the room all the way in. If you continually put the room part way out and part way in without finishing the cycle, you will get the motors out of sync and your slide out room will not operate correctly. When you operate the room to full capacity and move it all the way in and move it all the way out, you move it until the point where you think the room is completely out or completely in, and then you continue to hold the switch for another 3 seconds. So here, there's a caution that pops up. It says that the jacks must be in the down position. You also must engage the emergency brake, put the leveling jacks down, engine running. And if I do that, I have my extend and retract. It shows the slide out room. I also have the bed slide, which I can see on this particular floor plan has a second slide, and then I can see the awning. Now the awning will not operate with the engine running. That's kind of a safety override to make sure that you don't put the awning out while driving down the road. The slide out rooms will. So when you get in your vehicle, my recommendation would be park your vehicle. While you're still in the captain's chair, set the emergency brake. From that point, set the leveling jacks. Once you've set the leveling jacks, get up from the captain's seat, come back here to the hallway, and now put your slide out room out. So put your slide out room all the way out, hold it for an additional 3 seconds, do the same thing in the bed slide, and once that's done, now you can go back to the front, you can turn the engine off, and now you're ready to camp. Finally, let's get down to the last one, which is your settings. The settings here will give you some of the information you need, and of course there's more information about the whole entire multiplex system on our YouTube channel. So you can get all the specifics about every feature, but for here is a basic layout. I can set my screen brightness. I can look at my switch panel info, which each one of the switches located throughout the vehicle is connecting wirelessly to the hub. That way I know if I need to change the battery, and the battery is supposed to be good for 2 to 5 years, depending on how much you use it. I also, in this area, can get the mobile app. So with the mobile app, it tells me exactly where I need to go, what the app looks like, and it also tells me what my PIN code is. Now the PIN code is set as a regular PIN code at the factory. Once you get the PIN code for the first time, our recommendation is to change the PIN code, because if you don't change the PIN code and there's somebody else that has a Hurricane or a Windsport close to you that doesn't change their PIN code, in theory they could try to connect to your vehicle. The likelihood is very low, but it could happen, so make sure you change or reset your PIN number. Finally, in this area too, this is also where you can go to your cleaning mode. So it's got a cleaning mode, which if you want to clean this switch off to get fingerprints and everything off, you just go to cleaning mode, let you clean everything off. Then when you're done, you hold the switch, you hold the screen for 15 seconds. Once you hold it for 15 seconds, the screen comes back on, and now you're ready to use it again. So pretty simple. Set your clock here. You can also see what version of the software is on here. So if you ever had a problem or ever wanted to have something looked at from a service tech, they get all that information from here. So brief overview of what the control panel looks like and what you're going to need to actually start operating your vehicle. Operating the leveling jacks is actually quite simple because pretty much all the work is done for you. You do have some options that you can do some manual adjustments, but for most people, we're just going to make it auto. To engage the leveling jacks, we have to make sure that our engine is started. We need to make sure that our parking brake is engaged. That way we've got plenty of power to be able to run the leveling jacks. These are hydraulic, and it's as simple as pushing the button, turning the system on, and once we see that the system is on, we see the yellow light come on. We can see here that we're saying that the back needs to go up, the rear needs to go up, so that's what the system is going to do. And we're going to just hit the auto button. So push the auto button, the yellow light comes on there, and what's going to happen now is for the next 60 to 90 seconds, the leveling system is going to level itself. We recommend that you don't move around in the vehicle. We make sure that obviously our slide out room is in, and we haven't put that out yet because until we get the coach level, we don't want to put our slide out room out. So everything is going to level, and as you can kind of see, we're kind of rocking and rolling a little bit. That's totally normal. The jacks are down, and it's going to find its way to level. Once it finds its way to level, which we can see right here, we're getting to the point where there's a little light right here in the center, and when it finds level, it will start blinking. And there we go, it looks like it's done. So here we go, you can see it's all lit up. It says LCI right there in the center. It turns green, and it's all good to go. You do have some manual control. If you get to the point where you're like, I just don't feel level or the ground needs to be changed a little bit, if I wanted to go to a manual setting, I can go from the auto button to the manual button, and I can simply hold the button down, and once I hold the button down, you'll see the yellow light comes on. It's probably 3 to 5 seconds. And then once I do that, I can manually control the jack. So I can put the fronts up. I can put the lefts up. I can do right. I can do rear. I can take over and I can manually level. 99% of the time you won't have to do that, but if you ever come to the point that you do, there it is. Then, once we are all finished and we on our way back to do our slide out rooms, push the off button, we turn it off, and we're good to go. The system does have some nice built-in features. If you were to forget about your leveling jacks, jump up here in the driver's seat, turn on the engine, put it into drive, it's going to automatically retract the jacks. Once I get ready to drive away, once I have everything packed up and it's time to go, I can also retract the jacks. So, same protocol, make sure you turn the engine on. The emergency brake has already been on, so there'd be no reason to be turned off. And I come back here and I just hit retract all jacks. Once I do that, we'll start moving and we'll have the jacks come down. There you go. As soon as we start retracting the jacks, you'll hear them retract. You'll feel the coach start to move a little bit. There is a set of lights over here on the side. You can see here jacks down is indicated. And once that jacks down light goes off, we know that the jacks are completely retracted and we can be on our way. While we're up here in the cockpit area, let's take a quick look at exactly what all the controls and features are. On this motorhome, we've got a couple things. We've got a cup holder over here to the side. We've got our mirror heat, which heats the flat mirror that's outside in the exterior mirrors. We also have our mirror control. So left, right, you can control everything on the flat glass. We already talked about our leveling system. You do have a nice USB port with a little tray up here on top of the dash. So if you want to put a cell phone or a GPS, if you like a different GPS up here on the front, you can. And then of course we get into the rest of the dash controls. Off here to the left side, we do have our fog light switch. So there are fog lights installed up on the front cap. We also have an emergency start switch. The emergency start switch is used to tie the battery banks together. There could be a situation sometime where you come back to your vehicle, for some reason the chassis battery is dead and you're not able to start the engine. But your house battery is completely charged. So what we can do is we can hold that emergency start switch down and we can start our engine off the house batteries. It also works the opposite direction. If you were to come back and your house batteries would happen to be depleted and you wanted to be able to start your generator so you could start the engine, or you could start the generator to charge up your house batteries, you could do that by holding the emergency start switch, start the generator. Once the generator starts, let go of the switch, and now you've got charging going on with your generator. Currently, I'm in a brand new 2020 F53 chassis. This is the new chassis. This is the one that's got the new 7.3 liter engine. On the interior, you do have a few changes. The steering wheel is different. The instrument cluster is different than what it was on the 2019 chassis. You do have some steering wheel controls here as far as your cruise control, and also some controls for your instrument cluster, so you can look at some of your fuel economy ratings and your miles till empty. There are a little bit different dash layout as far as your speedometer and your tachometer goes. And then off to the left side of the dash, there are a few more buttons. These buttons will actually give you the option to put your sunshade down. The sunshade is something that you can use for when you're driving down the road as your visor to keep the sun out of your eyes. And then it will extend all the way once the key is turned off to give you privacy through the windshield. And I can do that by simply just pushing the button. When I push the button, the shade comes down. It'll only come down so far when it's when the engine's on, and then I can push it to go right back up. I do have a set of cab lights here that turn on, so if I want to look at something at night, I've got that. I also have a generator start up here on the front, so if I want to start the generator while I'm driving down the road, if it's not started, I can do that. I also have a pair of defroster fans. These fans are actually not made to cool anybody. What they're made to do is turn around here and point at the windshield. So that way, in the fall or the winter time when you have to defrost the windshield, this will actually rotate more air around to help get that windshield. So you have two settings. You've got a high setting and a low setting. Just depends on what you want. From there, if we move to the center of the dash, the center stack is pretty simple. It's got your HVAC control, and it's also got your media control. So this coach has a big 10.1 inch monitor, super easy to see when you're driving down the road, gives great visibility not just from the media itself, but it also gives you visibility as far as the cameras go. So like I was saying before, if you turn on your turn signal, the camera is automatically going to engage. If you turn on your other turn signal, that camera will engage. So you'll be able to see down both sides of your vehicle. It's not just great when you're driving, but also it's something that you can manually scroll through if you have some safety concerns and want to see if there's anybody on the outside of your vehicle. The other thing about this head unit is it is set up for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So if you want to use your favorite software as far as navigation goes, your Apple Maps, your Google Maps, Waze, Syngic, some of those other ones that actually work as far as those programs go, you've got all that here. You also have all of your media that you can go to, and in this media you do have Sirius XM radio. So you get a 3-month subscription free when you register your coach, and you'll get some information from Sirius XM. And this is a swipe screen just like you've got on your phone or your tablet. So you can go to your phone, you can go to your camera, and this does have Bluetooth built in. So if you want to connect to your phone and you want to have hands-free speaking, it's all built in. One thing of caution, the motorhome, when it's driving down the road, because it is so vast up here, sometimes gives some background noise, and not everybody on the other side can hear exactly what you're saying. So just something to keep in mind if you try using the phone driving down the road. From there, if we move to the other side of the dash, we'll kind of pan over there here for a second. We do have a computer tray, and that computer tray is something that the passenger can use going down the road. It's really easy to operate. I can simply pull up and out. It comes out towards my captain's chair. I've got a 110 volt recep that's underneath the dash. I also have a couple of 12 volt receps, and that's going to keep me fully powered up, whether I've got my tablet, whether I got my laptop, or anything else that I need. and that's just as easy to put away. And the great thing about it is you don't have to put it away in order to use the captain's chair or rotate the captain's chair. You can keep it out. So it's something that makes it real simple. And throughout the coach, there's a multitude of cup holders. The engine cover up on here is really small up in the front, and you've got some storage areas. So lots of things, including overhead storage. And right above me is something that we'll talk about, which is the overhead bunk. So all of the Hurricane and Windsports do have an overhead bunk. That overhead bunk can only be operated when the coach is parked and the emergency brake is on, and back on the control panel, that allows us to operate the bunk. There are some pins that are located in the bunk that we have to manually disengage to make sure that the bunk can come down. So if we kind of pan around here, I don't know if we can get this shot, but these manual pins up here, we simply just pull them out of place. There's one on each side, and then we can operate the bunk. A word of caution, make sure that the captain's chairs have the seats reclined enough that the bunk can come all the way down. This is just like the slide out room. It needs to be extended all the way, it needs to be retracted all the way. If it's not, eventually it'll come out of sync, and once it comes out of sync, it's not going to operate correctly. So with the overhead bunk, chairs back so my bed can come all the way down, and now you've got a built-in sleeping area directly above the cockpit, so you don't even have to make up the dinette or anything into an additional sleeping area. You push the button, you throw a couple pillows up there, and now you've got a sleeping area. This is what the overhead bunk looks like when it's in the fully extended position. You can see that it's got a screen up at the top to keep anything from going out over there. You've got a nice cloud mattress here, which sits up on top. You also have your own steps here, and the steps store somewhere else in the back of the vehicle, but you've got these steps, and as you can see, I've taken the chairs and I've moved them back just so I know that they're out of the way, and I know this came all the way down. The other thing is too, is then when I go to put this away, I can pull my ladder out, I go back to my control panel, and as you can see, we're gonna put this all the way up by pushing the button. We have to hold down on the button to make sure that it goes all the way up. And like we said with the slide out room, hold it, get it all the way up to where you think it's up, it stops, and hold it for 3 more seconds. One, two, three. That's all there is to it. All right, from the cockpit, we go to the living area. Once we get into the living area, this is the 33X model. This just happens to be one that's got theater seats in it. So if you can see here, we've got our window, shade, and you can see that's just a simple pleated shade. Operate it by just pulling it down. Once we pull it down, we've got coverage. Also with that shade, if we wanted to lift up just a little bit, you can see that we've got some jalousie windows. These jalousie windows, you simply just twist, and when you twist them, it opens up the jalousie section at the bottom of the window. Once you open that up, now you've got some ventilation. And this ventilation is nice because it doesn't matter if it's raining outside because it won't come in your window. And then you can take this, you can kind of pull this shade down and still get some ventilation underneath. You'll notice we have lots of seat belts throughout the vehicles. We have them in dinettes, we have them in sofas, we have them in theater seats. Even this theater seat here has seat belts in it. So you can be nice and safe driving down the road, putting your seat belt on, and we're off and ready to go. This theater seat, it's intended for 2 people, but it can accommodate 3 people because it does have 3 seat belts. So if you have someone that's a little bit smaller, they'll sit here in the middle. If not, hey, let's pull down cup holder. So we've got cup holders here, we've got cup holders behind, so we have multiple places where we can have multiple drinks. So if you've got your juice box, you got your soda, whatever it is, you've got a place for it. And the theater seats have a pull tab right here next to me. And if I pull up on that tab, the footrest comes out, and now I'm relaxing. I can even take and push back and fully recline. So now the TV that's directly across from me is a perfect home theater setting. When I'm ready to put it away, I simply just lean back, pull my legs down, kick it into place, and now I'm off and running. The dinette, which we see over here on this side, it is convertible. It will take and it will turn into a bed. The bed here is one that you've got to make up with all the cushions. So you got your bottom cushions, your back cushions, put all those together. That makes up your bed area. You've got some windows on the other side with window shades. And then of course, in every one of the Hurricanes or Windsports, you're going to have a 32 or a 40-inch TV. So you got plenty of viewing. And then from there, we'll kind of work our way back and take a look at the kitchen because it is fully functional, everything you would want in a motorhome. Before we make our way all the way into the kitchen, I wanted to point out that a lot of the furniture that you have inside of the vehicle is made up of a vegan leather. It's a leatherette material, and this material is great. It's resistant to scratching, it's resistant to stains and oil and all that. But one of the things we have to be very careful about is what we clean it with. It's not approved to have harsh cleaners. It's a delicate material that when it comes to cleaning, we want to make sure it lasts the livelihood of the coach. So the only thing to wash this with is going to be with a diluted solution of a soap like a Dawn dish soap, or something that is going to be light. It's going to have some power to get rid of some grease, but it's not going to damage the material. We want that diluted in water, and that's the only thing that's approved to clean this furniture. We don't want to be using any kind of orange cleaner, any kind of glass cleaner, anything that is going to be a detergent base that could break this down, because if this breaks down, it will eventually not perform for you as the coach gets a little bit older. So make sure that when you're cleaning your furniture, it's just with mild detergent, something like Dawn in dish soap in a diluted water solution. So let's move here into the kitchen. You do have a solid surface countertop, which is really nice. You do have a pair of sink covers, and you do have a big double bowl stainless steel sink. Not all models will have double bowl. Some may have a single bowl. And then you also have a sprayer here. So you got a pull down, and on the back side of the sprayer, you can go from a constant stream to a spray stream. Nice big window here in the kitchen. Lots of storage. And then you do have a over-the-range microwave. This is a full 30-inch microwave. Gives you about 1.6 cubic foot of cooking capacity. As you look on the inside, this is going to be just like what you're going to probably have in your house. It's nice and big. You got this tile backsplash here, which gives you a real nice clean look and also protects the walls and everything. You have your cooktop and oven. So you can see here, this is another backsplash, kind of protects everything onto the countertop. This cooktop here has got a light switch on it where you can light up the knobs only, or you can light up the knobs and light up the inside of the oven. The way that we light those is we make sure that our LP supply is on. We can turn to the flame. There's a flame on each one of these knobs. That is your flame setting. So figure out which one I need, whether it's the oven or one of the cooktop burners. Turn it to the flame, and then I use my sparker. Once it starts, I'm all ready to go, and of course I can go from high to low here on the cooktop, and as far as the oven goes, I pretty much start at 350 and work my way up to close to 500 degrees. So plenty of baking capacity, plenty of cooking capacity, and when I'm not using this, I simply can roll this glass cover over the top, and now this becomes more of my countertop area, usable space where I can store things. The refrigerator, as you can see here, in this particular model is a residential refrigerator. This is a 12 cubic foot refrigerator. It comes from Contour, which is a brand of appliance that uses very low amp draws when it's actually cooling. And it's got rapid cool technology on it. That technology gets things colder faster. And you can see it's got a nice big freezer. It's got a nice big refrigerator, crisper drawer, adjustable shelves. So right here, this is just like being in your house. This is probably bigger than the refrigerator that most people have in their basements or maybe in their apartments. And then it does have a travel lock on it. You put that in place so that when you're driving down the road, if you've got a gallon of milk in the door and you hit a hard corner, it's not going to open up on you. So kind of a nice feature there, and it gives you lots of capacity. And then finally, in a lot of the floor plans, not everyone, but most of them are going to have some kind of pantry storage. And that pantry storage is going to allow you to have pull-outs, and it's going to have some non-adjustable or adjustable shelving depending on the floor plan. Lots of space that you can keep things in your kitchen. An optional feature that we do offer on the Coach is the Max Air fan. If you have a Max Air fan, it would be located, could be here in the kitchen / bathroom area. It's got an easy setting on it. It's just on and off. The great thing about it is that it'll operate even when the roof is not open. So I can take and I can open this fan, and if I open this fan, it'll open up the lid, and the lid that's up on top actually has a cover that goes over the top of it. So if it rains outside, I don't have to worry about doing that. And then as far as my settings go, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when you get to your 4th setting, if you hit it again, it goes back to 1, or you hit it and it goes off. Pretty simple. and it really does a good job. It moves a lot of capacity, and you can even use it when the roof vent is closed. If you just want a little white noise in your area here, maybe somebody likes to sleep with white noise, it's a great little white noise maker. All right, let's take a look at what the bathroom is going to give us. So here in the bathroom, one of the things we'll talk about is the difference between a residential toilet and an RV toilet. So a residential toilet usually has a tank, fills up with water, and then that water is what dumps it out. On an RV toilet, we try to conserve water, so we only use water when we absolutely need it. This is a typical RV toilet. You can see that it's a china bowl, just like you'd have in your house, but it's a foot flush instead of a hand flush, which is actually nice and sanitary. The little foot flush handle is down here on the side, and with that, if you want to flush the toilet, you can, first of all, you can push part way down. If you push part way down, that will fill the bowl with water. Once you fill the bowl with water, you push all the way down, and that actually takes and puts everything into your black tank. The black tank is obviously on the outside where everything from the toilet goes. Also, one thing to mention is that you do have a water pump on board. So when you have your potable water that you're using from your tank that's on board, you want to make sure that your water pump is engaged. Your water pump will pump everything from the tank through the system inside of the vehicle. If you're plugged into city water, you don't need that water pump, so you won't need to have that on when you're on city water, just when you're using your potable water on board. If for some reason you don't feel like you've got any water pressure or something doesn't work at the sink, check to make sure you got the water pump turned on. That could be the reason why. The other thing too is that in your bathroom you're going to see that there is a resettable GFI outlet. Many times we'll hear consumers talk about how their outlets don't work somewhere else in the coach. Well, the first thing I recommend is that you go to your GFI and make sure that the GFI is engaged. It does have a test and a reset button. If it's out, you can see the little yellow lights on it. Then I can reset it. Once I reset it, the light goes off. A lot of times that fixes the issue because this GFI outlet system goes throughout the vehicle. It's not just here in the bathroom. So it's on the outside, the inside. Check that first if you ever run into a situation where you don't have 110 volt. So I'm gonna get out of here and let's take a look at the inside where you've got your sink and you've got your shower, so you can see a little bit about what's going on in here. The shower is one-piece ABS. It's got a one-piece wall. It's got its own pan. It's got hot and cold. Also, there is a manual switch to turn the faucet on and off. That's actually on the sprayer, which is kind of nice, so you don't have to continually adjust the temperature. You can see there's a skylight in the shower, which gives you a little more headroom. And on most floor plans, you do have a glass shower door. That's real easy to clean, and it's not like a curtain. It won't stick to you as you kind of rotate around in the shower. And every bathroom is going to have a 12-volt fan to allow you to exhaust any fumes or any moisture out of the bathroom. Now that we've come back to the bedroom area, we will notice that on each side of the beds you will have USB ports, which is nice because you can plug in your phone or your tablet. You are going to get the full 2 amps out of that charging, so a tablet will charge out of here. Also, on one nightstand or the other, or just in the room in general, you will have a 12-volt outlet, because we do know there's a lot of people that travel with CPAP machines these days, and a lot of times instead of the 110, they'll have a 12-volt adapter also. So we do have a 12-volt outlet there, and it is high amperage, so it will be able to run your machine. And then, of course, back in the back, you've got some things. Some floor plans will have storage under their beds, some won't. Also, you have areas where you've got your electrical connection. So there is a place where your converter is located. In this model, if we take a look, back here underneath the bed, and we'll show that here in a second, is where all your fuses and breakers are located. So down here below the bed, you can see this is where all my 12-volt is, and this is where all my 110-volt is. So this is where you would go if at any time you had something that didn't work. You'd want to check your fuses and your breakers. Your fuses are all the ones that are on 12-volt, your breakers are all 110-volt. So that's the area to access. And so even if the slide out is in, there is room underneath the slide out room to get to it, so it's accessible for a technician at any time. And in some floor plans, we do have the ability to add a washer and dryer. Your coach could come prepped with it depending on the floor plan. In this particular cabinet on this floor plan, you can see it is prepped for washer and dryer. Washer and dryer prep, what does that mean? That means that behind a panel inside here are all the water connections. You'll have a hot water connection, you'll have a cold water connection, and then you'll have an 1.5 inch drain tube. You also have 110-volt receps that are located back here in the back. So that way you could have your dealership, you have the option to do a stackable unit in here, which you could have a separate washer, separate dryer. Or in some floor plans, it comes available with a combo unit as far as the prep goes. We don't offer a washer and dryer from the factory, but it's something that's real easy to install, especially since it's prepped out. A combo unit combines the washer and the dryer together. Those are more compact, more apartment living type things. They don't have the exact same capacity as a stackable washer and dryer separate units, but they are real convenient on the road, especially if you have small loads and you just want to do a little bit of laundry and not have to go to the laundromat. That might be something to consider in the future. Well, we hope you enjoyed the quick walkthrough here of exactly how the motorhome works. We're hoping that if you have any questions, you'll go to that owner's resource site that's located on our website. We also hope that this gave you at least a little bit of information to get you started so that you can start off on your road trip or your camping adventure in the right way. Thanks for joining us.